Greetings everyone! Future feature film director, the Rookie Critic here, and today we are doing our first Rook Takes a Look at a Comic Book. Ding! Well, it's the first comic book review that I'm doing in a while, but since I am a noob with comics, I haven't been into them for very long, I'm just calling it Rook Takes a Look at a Comic Book. It's a little more accurate, and today we're looking at the Wart of the Wizard, the Wart the Wizard by Mandy Summers, my good friend, she's approaching 3,000 subscribers right now. She's also going to play parts in some of my upcoming skit projects in the future. Look forward to that. Let me know in the comments if my face is a little bit overexposed. I just added a light in here, because my lighting in here has sucked, and I had an extra light for my green screen, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could probably use that in my room where I have shitty lighting. So let me know how that looks. And so, getting right back into it, Wart the Wizard came with a little side comic by Dark Gift Comics, it looks like, and it has his drawings in it, and he is a rising comic person, and he's a great musician as well, by the way, and has his own YouTube channel. Check him out. And I forgot to actually read this part. I forgot this was with it until I just brought all this stuff out of it now, so I'll take a look at that in a little bit. But it also came with a handy-dandy bookmark, which is useful when trying to read books, believe it or not. And came with 3 trading cards right there. And the back one, wait, no, not that one. This one. It seems to be Wart as, more muscular, kind of like a Captain America type pose right there. It's kind of what that makes me think of. Or Batman? Is that what I'm thinking of? Captain America or Batman? I'm not sure. But yeah, a little buffer than he normally is, but that is fun. And some good art right there. And then I thought these were postcards, but I don't think these are postcards necessarily. They're just drawings that are separate. I don't really know if they have a name for that. Like, again, I'm noob with comics, go figure. But I thought it was a pretty cool image right there. It's a little Wart, it's just sitting down here. He's a little skinny and doesn't have a beard, can't cast spells yet, and he's dreaming that he can, casting these big old fires, and has his gigantic wizard beard, and he's able to save the princess, and see what he's doing. So that's a fun little fantasy. And then we got this little one right here with him and the villain right there, and he's using a staff. I'm not sure if that's his own power or the Staff of Power. We don't know, do we? No, I don't know. I thought this freaking image, though, was really cool. And Mandy, in the next one, you should definitely have like some type of stretch goal or a tier where you can get a coloring book with the comic, because I know that my nieces and nephews would definitely love to color some stuff like this. They got some imagination, and this stuff is right up their alley to want to color. I mean, okay, maybe not this one specifically because of the detail that's in it, but like with the other ones, yeah, they would definitely want to color something like that. So just something to keep in mind. And also postcards, because seriously, like if this was a postcard, I could imagine, they open it and it's like, that's a cool thing to send somebody. So just something to keep in mind. But I don't know. This was Mandy's first comic book run. She's currently working on Super Dead right now, but this was her first one, Wart the Wizard. And I think that it was a pretty good start right here. First thing that I would say, I mean, coming from the noobest of me, not having read too many comic books, but from the ones that I have read, I do like how sturdy and firm the comic is. It's not flimsy, kind of. There's a couple that are, I guess, probably the cheaper comics anyway, that were a little more flimsy. And, the Cyberfrog cover was really good, though I know that I think it was the cover was a little heavier because it was the chrome and something with the print and the ink or something. But, that one was still good. Not saying that one was bad. I liked it. But as far as when you are reading it, I liked how I read this, and there's like hardly any, unfolding after that. And usually whenever I read something, it, ends up unfolding all the time. So I liked that it didn't. Alrighty, now let's just take a look at the Wart the Wizard comic book. Now, first thing that I would like to say with that is it does kind of play as if it's a video game, like one of those Quest video games. It even has, I'll show a picture up on the screen, on the very bottom it has like all your Quest items that he keeps on coming up across on the bottom to remind you what he has, and then when he uses them they go away. and you know, you can kind of try to see what use could he have of them as he's going along, as he's building up his little items that he's collecting. So that was something I was doing, and she does something really cool with Wart the Wizard, using all these items later on. And he is a level 1 wizard. He wants to get a big old beard. He wants to be able to cast spells. He wants to be somebody that people look up to and revere, but he is little old Wart, and he doesn't exactly have that ability yet. He needs to do some quests and start leveling up. So, the first thing, I like how it starts, is that he's getting evicted, so he's got to find some money, and he has to go on a quest in order to get it, so this is how you get onto your story. And there's quite a few quests at the place that he goes to that are a little too above his level at the moment, but then he finds one to find a princess's hairbrush, and then just going on that one quest alone leads him to event after event after event after event, and things keep on happening, and all the while, this level 1 wizard is quite cocky. Regardless, he's quite cocky with himself sometimes, but then in the real danger, it's like, nope, gotta run away. But then, he has some of his wit that he has, and that's a pretty clever use, the fact that he's level 1, and he doesn't have all these super abilities that other higher levels might, but he's still able to find some type of way out of his situation, which was kind of cool. And I think what I really like, honestly, is the narration. Again, I have not read that many comic books, so I don't know if this is a common thing that happens at all, but the narrator is talking with the protagonist, and the protagonist is talking with the narrator the whole time, as if Wart has like an imaginary buddy with him the whole time. And as I'm reading it, I'm imagining Mandy Summers' voice as the narrator, because she's the one that wrote it, so, she's the one saying, Wart, look out! Oh, come on, Wart, and, some of the lines that she has in here, which made me kind of think, too, it'd be kind of interesting to have, Mandy and some other YouTubers maybe, like, do a reading of this as the characters, like, trying to be some of the different characters in here, arrange something like that. StreamYards can have up to 10 people on a stream, so I don't see why that's not a possibility, maybe. I don't know. Could be fun. Could be fun. I can definitely see this comic playing on like Saturday mornings as like a 10 or 15 minute short cartoon every now and then, a couple episodes here and there, and seeing as he progresses on his adventures and seeing where he goes and what he's up to. And yeah, there's a nice little array of creatures and rules here. I think a character literally he's alive and then at the end he's dead. But he's like alive. He's undead. Nobody in the Wart universe actually like dies for good. I think they become skeletons or zombies or something else. I don't know if those were the only two, but yes, it's got a fun premise here. And the villain, similar to Wart the Wizard, he's trying to he wants to get a wizard beard. The villain is like a powerful wizard, but he's a dead wizard, so he doesn't have a beard, and that is kind of like a funny parallel that the two of them share, being at completely opposite levels. But I mean, that's pretty much all that I gotta say about Wart the Wizard right here. It's pretty fun. It's got good, kid-friendly animations here, or kid-friendly art here. I keep on wanting to say animations, because to me, I'm thinking animated when I'm looking at this. Like, I could see this being a cartoon. So, I think it's pretty fun. I like how at the end he gets his steed, which is a very goofy steed. I showed some of this to my mom, and she was like, something's wrong with that horse. But, I think that's what we're supposed to think, obviously. And I'm curious to see if little Wart does level up in his story at all, or if he remains at the level 1, still going on some of these adventures, which is kind of interesting to see how that would play out as well. So, looking forward to Wart the Wizard #2. This was a great first shot, Mandy. I'm looking forward to your Super Dead also. Super Dead is her next comic that she's working on with Peter Gilmore and I think Wyatt Holliday, and that is going to be not as kid-friendly. That is going to be the opposite spectrum, the adult stuff going on over there. But this was a good one. That's my thoughts on it, and you guys have a great rest of your day.